What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Weekly Postgame. This is where we share our views on the latest trending topics within the NBA. What's up for today?
Okay, so let's just get right into it. Who's your player of this week?
Oh, LeBron James. None other than the king himself. He is the youngest player. I know you can't believe it, but he's a player. He is my player of the week. I can select LeBron James as the player of the week.
And you can.
He's the youngest player to crack 35,000 points. The Lakers are currently second in the Western Conference. They've won 8 of the last 10. And now we're getting ready to see the king really turn into MVP with AD out.
Yeah. And then also I heard that he is also in the hunt of being the top player with the most points. Kareem has the top spot right now, and LeBron James is right there. And I believe when I was watching Jalen and Jacoby, Jalen mentioned that it's going to take 130 plus games. If he continues the same point production he's doing right now, 130 plus games for him to be able to reach that.
Oh, that's totally doable. What is that? A season?
Absolutely.
Just about 2 seasons?
2 seasons. Mm-hmm.
Wow, he'll be 38. Crazy? Oh, 38?
Yep. Yeah.
It's a huge mountain to climb, but I think he might be up for it.
I think so too. Yes, with his bionic body, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good for him. I can't believe you said him, but that's cool.
I know.
Okay,
hey, I can call a spade a spade. I'm not a LeBron James fan at all, but he is really carrying a heavy load right now.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So here's mine. Lou Williams of the Los Angeles Clippers.
Okay.
That Lou Williams stepped up and held it down for at least 2 of the 3 games while the 2 top stars are out. And then, Batum with his concussion. So, I mean, Lou Williams was able to put up 30 points against the Cavaliers. And then he did another, 10 assists when they played the Heat. So I'm like, you doing it, and that is what you need from someone who was 2 times of the year. Was it 2 times or 3 times? Drop down in the comments and correct me if I'm wrong. But he was 6th man of the year multiple times.
Yeah.
And he stepped in when the team needed him to handle the point guard position. And he rallied the team together to make sure they were able to at least maintain their 3rd spot, the LA Clippers' 3rd spot in the Western Conference. So Lou Williams is my player.
Okay. Yeah, it's good to see him recover from the bubble and the way he played,
Yeah, it was funny. I was listening to one of his post games, and he was like, when he did the 30-pointer, and he said, Ty called me when I was on my way to the, gym or to the arena, and he's like, Kawhi's gonna be out or Pat Beverly's gonna be out. So your choice if you want to go ahead and come off the bench or do starter. He gave him an option, and I was like, that's pretty cool. He said, I'll do starter, and I'm like, yes. I think the fact that he was able to make the decision himself. Ty Lue trusted him enough to say, you tell me what you want to do was huge for me. I'm like, man, you want your boss to be able to ask you, what you think? How do you want to come in? How do you want to, engage? And he was able to tell him, and look what happened. So,
wow.
Lou Williams. Big Lou. Little Papa Lou.
Oh my God. Okay.
As I was trolling Twitter and the social medias, I ran across this headline that said, the Warriors' big 3 are better than the Nets' big 3. So I was like, let's talk about it.
Yeah, I saw that too. And I was like, ooh, it's tough. That is a tough decision to make. I'm actually, in my mind, this is how I weighed it out. I said, okay, so you had KD, Steph, and Clay in Golden State.
Yes.
For me, the type of basketball they played was way more fluid, and there were no egos. And it was just like a winning culture and joyous basketball. So then I said, okay, well, how does that compare to the Brooklyn Nets? I said, well, that one, I think it's too many egos there. And there's a lot of unknowns because to me, the Brooklyn Nets haven't had their feet in the fire yet.
Exactly.
They're not proven. They're not battle tested quite yet.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I was like, and I'm not sure about Steve Nash either. I said, no, I'm going with Steve Kerr and the Golden State Warriors of old.
Me too. My thought process was the same, mainly around the Nets. What do you mean better? We don't know yet. Ask me that question once they win the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
And they become the champions of the 2021 NBA season. Then you ask me the question. But right now, it's a little too soon. How are you going to compare this new developed team that all three of them, no, two of them played together when they were in OKC. Kyrie just joined, but they've never collectively, the three of them played together. One thing that the Warriors big three had is that they were first big two.
Right.
They were first the big two, and they had actually Steph and Clay won a championship before KD got there.
Yeah.
So let's not forget that, so that championship caliber team was already developed when KD went to join them. They're trying to create that type of status in Brooklyn. So right now it's too soon to be judging and weighing whether or not one is better than the other. Because for me, it's the Warriors. We've seen it. We have proof. There's tapes. There's YouTube videos on it. There's articles written. What are we talking about, right? So maybe in the next 3 years, let's check back with this question.
Yeah.
Then let us have a fair assessment on what this looks like. But it's too soon right now. And for me, it's the Golden State Warriors. Big.
Okay. So did Coach Steve Nash play a role in your decision making at all, seeming as though he's supposed to be the leader of the band?
No. Not at all. I didn't even consider the coach. Not at all. Not at all. However, it is something to note. Steve Nash is new. He was a player, but he wasn't a coach. And Steve Kerr did both.
Yeah.
And won a chance. I mean, it's too soon to compare. That's just what I'm saying.
Yep, sure is.
There's one other thing that I need to mention when we're talking about the big three. The Warriors' big three, they had Klay Thompson, who was he was on an all defensive team. One thing about this big three, the Nets big three, that I have not seen and has not been proven yet, is who's going to be their strong defensive player from the three of them.
Well, as we discussed on the prior episode, James Harden liked to pull defense out of his pocket. I mean, KD, he might be the one, but and then Kyrie, as good as he is, he ain't playing no defense either. And then KD, as long as he is, that's just not his strong suit,
Right.
So, yeah.
So we'll
Interesting.
See, which is back to my original point. They're not proven. So until they can prove themselves, and then we can have a fair assessment of the two, then we'll talk. But it's still too soon.
So can you make a fair assessment on this? You ready for this?
Uh-oh. What?
Okay. Out of the following 4 players who are fairly new to the NBA, who has the most upside? Ja Morant, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, LaMelo Ball, or Colin Sexton? It's tough.
The biggest upside. Okay, so let's see. I think I might have to do a process of elimination.
Okay.
Ja Morant for me is explosive. However, I have not seen where he will go beyond what he is currently. So we're talking about upside, right? Just hear me out. I'm talking loud. I'm talking out loud. Okay, so don't be too hard on me. Right? Okay, so Ja Morant. Okay, great. LaMelo Ball. Yes, upside because he's still fairly new. So he is still trying to prove himself. I've already watched 1 year of Ja Morant. I have not watched a full year of LaMelo Ball. So anything that he's doing right now for me is new. Okay, so that's just how I'm trying to do my process of elimination. Gilgeous-Alexander. I would say yes, more of an upside because right now his peers believe, since he is one of the 10 on the All-Star voting for 2021, he's on the list. I think he's either number 7 or number 8 as a reserve. There is something about the fact that he has been put on notice that he has something different than the other guys because he's on the All-Star list. Colin
Hmm.
Sexton, wow, Cleveland is going to be his fault. So if he gets out of Cleveland or he can turn Cleveland around, then I'll probably say yes. So for me, I'm going to, as I talk that through, I'm going to go with Gilgeous Alexander.
Oh my goodness. Wow. You went really analytical on
I
that.
can't help it. I don't know. What'd you say? What'd you say?
Well, see, for me, it's Morant.
Okay. Why?
He's only 6'3". He's unassuming at his size. And I think he's electrifying. And I just like the way he plays. He plays good on D. He can, get with you at the rim too. I really like him. And it's not for any other reason than I just like the way he plays, Shai Gilgeous, for me, it's Morant, LaMelo Ball.
Oh.
This is my hierarchy.
Okay.
LaMelo, Shai Gilgeous, and then Colin.
Okay. I can't dispute that. I don't dislike watching Morant play. I agree. He is extremely explosive. Yeah, but then what's next? Like, I don't know if there should be a next. I just don't know. So again, we'll see how he continues to play. This question is really hard, right? Because all of those young guys are amazing, right? In their own right. I'm just going to go with Gilgeous Alexander because of where he is right now and the potential he has with OKC to be able to be that foundational piece for them to build their next era on. That's what I feel about him.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's clear that they believe in him because all of the other OKCers from back in the day, they're all gone. It's clear to me they are building around SGA. They are.
Yes, they're building around him. And although they have all these draft picks, OKC has all these draft picks. Some of them will be used to leverage veteran players, I'm quite sure. But knowing that he is going to be the foundation piece for that is going to be amazing. And they believe in him. So, we'll see what that looks like. So it's still undetermined what his ceiling is because, again, he was with the Clippers his first season. He played with OKC last season, but he had Chris Paul.
Yeah.
He's with OKC, although he may be injured at this time. Once he comes back, I'd like to see what that looks like, especially not for this season. I don't think anything's going to happen for this season for OKC. If they make it to the playoffs or the play-in tournament, that's great. But will they go deep? Probably not. So, if they do go deep, it'll be a sleeper team, right? Nobody expected that. But I would say maybe within the next 2 to 3 years, we will see what the roster transitions into, which Gilgeous Alexander as the focal point. I think we should be good.
Ooh, okay. Now, speaking of focal point now, LeBron is 36 years old. Everybody keeps reminding us, right?
Oh, please, if you don't know how old he is, were you under a rock?
I know. But the fact of the matter is, I'll probably give him about another 2-3 years before he says, you know what, I need to go ahead and call it quits because I think he wants to retire on top. He doesn't want to go out like Shaquille O'Neal with the hamstring injury and because I still see Shaq hobbling off of the court when he played for Boston. It was absolutely horrible. Like that's my last, that's like my last thing I saw of Shaq. But anyway, so when LeBron retires, because it's coming, who is going to be the next face of the NBA?
I don't think we'll know that until 2-3 years. I don't see anybody right now taking over or even being groomed to, or even, not necessarily taking over while he's playing because nobody will be able to do that. There should be someone that we can say that I can say, oh, okay. People starting to listen to them. Who is that? There's nobody right now. I do believe that. I don't even know if it's going to be 2 to 3 years. I can tell you right now, I believe that LeBron James will not retire until he's on top of all of the these lists that they have. Number one in scoring, and number one in assists. Once he achieves all of that, because he has the ring, he has the rings, he has the MVPs. It's about being at the top of the list. He want to be where Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is. He want to be at the top of the assist list. Once he achieves those, then I believe he'll retire.
But I think it'll be harder for him to play at this pace as he gets older, of course. Because Father Time is undefeated. I don't care. I don't care how much money he spends on his body. Once he gets a little closer to 40, he's not going to be able to play 38 minutes a game. He's just not going to be able to. And they'll probably sit him on back-to-backs, which are opportunities for him to gain points and get closer to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So I don't really see it. Now, in terms of who I think will be the next face,
who?
I want to say Zion Williamson. I want to say him because when he came into the league, everybody said he was the next coming. He's the next face. But I'm torn because the way his life is set up right now, I don't think he has any kids. He's not married. And it seems like the NBA likes that image for the next phase. And I could be wrong, but it seems like they like that.
What image? Single?
No, married with kids and all that, you know.
Yes. Yeah. You know what? I don't know. When did we realize that LeBron James was the face? When was that? Was it when he was 19?
Well, when he came into the league, there was a big deal. You know, the kid from Akron. That's all we heard.
I know that. But being a big deal, because we go back and if we do a segment on how many number one picks were a big deal, end up being a bust, what does that mean? So being a big deal is one thing, but what made his transition from being a big deal on the court to becoming the face of the franchise or of the NBA league? That's where I wish I recall when that happened. If somebody knows, drop down in the comments and tell me when did the transition change? Because when he came into the league, we still had Kobe and all these other players that were very popular, well respected. When did it switch? That's what I need to understand.
Interesting.
So I don't know if it's going to be anybody that's young. That's what I'm saying. It may, whoever it is will have to start developing what that looks like now, right? Because it takes time. I don't believe he came in being the face. He came in being very popular. But now when he speaks, people follow. When did that shift happen is what I need to understand. Because that's where the face of the NBA comes in.
Yeah, that's true. And and who is sponsoring him? You know, the next player has to be sponsored by the NBA. They have to be on commercials. They have to have, it's all these other things that go into it. Their personal life, I think, needs to be on full display as well, unfortunately.
Yeah. It helps. So right now, how are whoever this next face is, how are they building their social media footprint? What does that look like? What does their image look like? We should, as fans, be able to see that evolve over time. So maybe it's Jaylen Brown.
Could be.
Maybe it's Jason Tatum. I just don't know. Maybe it's Luka. Pulling that international presence. I don't know, but it has to be something. And I don't think it's anybody young. I don't believe, and I don't recall when LeBron James came into the league, he was the face of the league. Like, it was just like, bam. And I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I don't think it was like instant like that. It took time. If LeBron retires in the next 3 or 4 years, that gives Zion an opportunity to build his image.
Yes.
Why not him? He'll have 4 or 5 years under his belt by then. So it's possible.
Yeah, but I believe one of the things that helped LeBron is that he was born a leader, right? I believe that because he has it. And it appears to be natural for him. I'm not saying that anybody cannot be taught to be a leader, because I believe they can as well if they have the desire to do so. So what does that look like? It's about that type of leadership. Being a great player is not enough in my eyes to be the face of the league. Not the way LeBron has shaped it. That's all I'm saying. Now, if they want to scale it back to be only great players, then we're fine.
Yeah.
If LeBron says, I don't want to play for the All-Star game, and I thought I was going to go on vacation, and then you have other great players say, well, LeBron said, that's what I'm talking about. So if Zion said, I don't want to play for the All-Star game, they were like, what? Okay, well, so,
yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
What does that look like? And that's all I'm saying. And who is going to be that person? I don't think that person's identified just yet. We still have some time. But I believe whoever it's going to be, they need to start developing that skill right now.
Do you think potentially that person hasn't entered the NBA yet?
I know where you're going. And you may be right.
It's possible.
It's possible. What y'all think?
Yeah, drop down in the comments and let us know who you think the next face of the NBA will be when LeBron retires. I just thought about this. Could it be Kevin Durant or Steph Curry?
Steph Curry? Possibly.
He's younger than LeBron. He's open, has a wonderful image. He's perfect to advertise. Right.
I would probably say Steph Curry over Kevin Durant because the media is lukewarm on Kevin Durant, but they love Steph.
Yes.
Households love Steph. The kids love Steph.
Mm-hmm. So why does the next face have to be someone starting from the bottom, essentially? Could it be that LeBron just passes the torch,
It's
mid-race? Because
that's a good
because
one.
Steph is he's coming towards the end of his career, but he's not quite there yet,
Steph, that's a good point.
I don't see LeBron passing the torch anytime soon. If anything, he's going to pass it to his son when he gets in the league. Hello. Oh, that's too far-fetched.
No, it's not. It's too realistic, actually.
See, the Lakers struggled against the Brooklyn Nets. And it's unfortunate because their best player, KD, sat out. But I think it was a fair exchange because AD was also out. Yes. And then Schroeder was out, but Spencer Dinwiddie was out. Is that fair?
No, not a fair exchange. No, not when you have Joe Harris and KCP playing.
What do you mean?
What? Joe Harris, KCP, one and the same on different teams.
KCP shot has been off.
Just saying, when you're talking about you comparing player to player, right?
I'm just saying both teams were missing two key pieces.
Yes, but it's still evened out to be the same, I think.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes. And you know what? And not only that, you had the self-proclaimed chosen one on the team. What are we talking about? Right? Okay. This is when his MVP status should be solidified. It just should be, right? He is the man. So he should be able, meaning LeBron James, should be able to get the Lakers through it. That's it.
Okay. He is my player of the week.
Yes. yes. However, I do know that they need AD. I am clear on that.
They need AD. They sure do. Kyrie Irving said that he looks forward to seeing the Lakers down the road. And what they really wanted was a full squad.
Absolutely. And when he said down the road, and I'm interpreting this because I don't know Kyrie, but he's probably saying, we'll see you in the NBA finals.
Yeah, that's what he meant. He sure did.
and I'm here for it. So yes, I'm here for it. It's gonna be a struggle. But this lets me know that both teams were missing key pieces of their roster, right? And so it's a fair assessment for Kyrie to make that statement because he wants to be able to compete with full roster on both sides. So
right.
Yeah.
Okay, drop down in the comments and let us know who will be the last two teams standing for the NBA Finals. Oh, I can't wait.
I can't wait either. We know it's a little premature, but it's all fun and games, and then we'll see if we were right?
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's all we got for this week, y'all. Talk to you next time. And until then, bye.
Bye, y'all.